Welcome back here at the WFDF YouTube channel as we're showcasing Day 2 of the Asia Oceanic Ultimate Championships. We're here at the pole play for the Open Division. As you can see, between Singapore Disc Knights and Hot Chili. My name is Jonathan Santos, and join me here at the booth is the lovely Avril Tam.
Beautiful day for some Frisbee, Jonathan. I think we start off with a cracking match. I mean, initially, like another Singaporean team.
Correct.
We had Freak Show versus Team Hong Kong, and this time we've got two club teams, one from Singapore, as you said, the Disc Knights, and then club team Hot Chili out from Melbourne, Australia.
Exactly. This is going to be an exciting match between two incredible competitive teams, and you can see the height difference already from Hot Chili. This is something they're going to take advantage as well.
Yeah, wouldn't be surprised. There's a long game. That one goes up high, but that second grab done really well.
Great presence of mind from Hot Chili to keep that disc alive. Here he goes, front cup. Oh, but the pass is just a little bit too high. Disc Knights gets the early disc turnover.
Oh, a couple of speculative options and bobbles there, and Disc Knights in the end applying enough pressure to force that overthrow, managing to get an early chance for a break.
And here it goes, Disc Knights' chance to get some early conversions from their D-line. We'll see how it goes. There's a travel called. And Disc Knights, one of the known teams in Singapore as well. They've been in this ultimate Frisbee scene in Singapore, so it's good to see that their presence here felt in this tournament so far.
And Hot Chili, also the oldest club in Melbourne, Australia. It's been around, I think, at least 20 years.
Oh, wow.
So they've had a very long journey on the Australian Ultimate scene as well.
And here we go. This is restarted. Some style count is rising, but able to swing it to the break side. Disc Knights moving the disc a little too floaty, but just through his hands and fingers. Hot Chili a chance to convert their O-line.
So Chile, a nice inside flick. Like we said, we're expecting some big shots and big games, but maybe with the wind blaring up, not quite confident to do so just yet.
And a quick movement here from the break side. Stalkout is rising, but able to punch it through. But bobbled hands, but able to get it through and keep that disc alive. And looks like Hot Chili retains the score, 1-0.
So Hot Chili, bit of a messy first opening point. Bobbles both ways and gave up the disc, but good enough to play defense and get it back. Like you said, have to really maintain focus. The wind is a bit gusty, actually, in this second time slot of the day. As we look at the replay, just that lovely inside flick. I think those inside flick options to the top of stack are quite well known in terms of Singapore, Japan, a lot of the Asian countries using that tactic. Australia, maybe, having increased their disc skills over the years and also making use of those opportunities.
Exactly, that partner. And early 2 turnovers for both teams now. You see how is that going to progress as we go to this game. But great response from Hot Chili to recover from that point. But equally so, the Disc Knights D-line pretty hyped up that they were able to get the turnover for that.
Yeah, it's always nice confidence for your D-line when
Correct.
you get an early opportunity, and I'm sure they'll only take steps forward from here.
Here we go, off the ball, Hot Chili. Let's see their first chance to a crack of their D-line against Disc Knights O-line.
And that's a really nice floating pull. Makes it all the way into the end zone with lots of float, so allows the defenders to get into position very early, and that causes an errant throw way too low to the ground. Maybe a bit of contact from the mark as well. So Hot Chili also with an early opportunity for a break from the D-line.
And let's see how quickly they can be able to convert this by. And a quick shoot to the end zone. Bang!
Dave Evans with the score in between two Disc Knight defenders. And Hot Chili working it up very well after a hard-earned turnover and break opportunity. So both D-lines with an opportunity, but Hot Chili the ones able to convert.
Exactly at that. And great response from Hot Chili. Unfortunate error because it was really near the end zone. And Hot Chili able to take advantage of that unfortunate error. And I think at least for Hot Chili, this will be their first chance to try to get a win from their first game yesterday. And this night starting off as well with no win. So crucial game for both teams to get on the board for their first dub.
That's right. I think Hot Chili were up yesterday against their opponents, Gaja from Singapore. And in the end, Gaja broke. I think they held once and then broke twice to actually take the game out. So Chile were leading at the end of the game and then unfortunately just couldn't complete those last few points to close it out. So really shows that you need to keep concentration for the entire game, right? And it's also a 5-day tournament. So, you know, making sure that you stay composed under pressure. You know that, you know, they're going to be ebbs and flows, but the teams that can stay most consistent will be the ones at the pointy end of the...
Here we go. Like, noticing from this night, a lot of the cutters are just way too far with their handlers to give them some options. Someone's streaking deep here, but opts to swing it down the middle. Great marking from Hot Chili, forcing a lot of uncharacteristic movements for this night.
Yeah, I think Hot Chili's defense are doing well. You can see that dump defender poaching off, so they're standing backwards to try to limit those upfield passes. Disc Knight's good enough to get one through.
Good small ball offense from Singapore, and that shoots it to the end zone, gets it to go for their first score.
Despite a fast-hitting Hot Chili player in Ian Swart.
But it looks like there's going to be a travel called there, as you saw from the hand signals of the game advisors. And the disc will go back to Disc Knights on that. Very unfortunate. It will be a discussion between Kenneth Su from Singapore.
Yeah, and Bishan Ryan from Hot Chili. I think talking maybe about a foot drag or change of direction is probably the conversation.
Exactly.
Right?
From based on that, as you look at the replay here to see how that went about. Not sure from that. Like, not quite sure. But again, looks like it has been resolved and it will be back to the initial thrower on that. Yeah. Here we go. This night on that open side, swing it to the middle. Again, not a lot of movement. As you see, great upline cut was executed. Looking for the next cut. Oh, great lateral cut movement to get himself open at the edge of the end zone. Oh, and just bobbles through. Looks like the pass was just too strong.
Tried to go for a cheeky push pass, right? Flick push pass, but because there was no spin on the disc, it meant that the stability and the predictability of that flight wasn't quite enough. So I think the receiver did really well to beat his opponent to the cone, but that throw maybe just wasn't the right technique and execution. Oh, and hands up to try to get the connection, but too tall, even for the tall Hot Chili player.
And here you go, Disc Knights again, a chance to get their first point. Trap on that open side, swings it to the middle, smart move. Trying to attack that break side, fakes the backhand. Poor man dump. Good defense, match person defense from Hot Chili, but great response from Disc Knights handler movement.
Yeah, I think the stack is intentionally standing quite far.
And here we go, Disc Knight near the end zone, same spot earlier. Swings it smartly to the break side. Gives more options and more field for Disc Knights to work on. Oh, and a great short pass for Disc Knights. Gets their first score.
Disc Knights very pleased with the results. That was a hard-earned offensive point. Giving up the disc, but managing to get it back pretty quickly. And there's a timeout, I believe, called by Hot Chili there. Pretty early for a timeout.
I was going to say, yeah, very early. But it looks like, from the coach's perspective, they want to turn things around as early as possible. But again, really early timeout, surprising. But see if they really want to turn things around, really correct things as early as possible.
Yeah, maybe the coach wanting just to nip things in the bud before it gets out of hand.
And we'll be back for a short break as we collect our breath live from Kamisu City. And we're back, and looks like Singapore, or this Knights, start to pull. See if they can recover from the early deficit. You can see this Knights sprinting downfield. Quick movements for Hot Chili, and looks like
it's a
zone defense, correct. Yes, go ahead, partner.
Yeah, so 3 in the front. It does look like an arrowhead formation, which means they are forcing Hot Chili to throw side to side. So they're okay with these sideways passes. But the thing is, when they go sideways and make some meters on the continuation, this isn't what the Disc Knights want. So that second wall and that wing defense, they need to try and stick a little bit tighter and be aware to shut down that continuation.
And great presence of mind from the Hot Chili, just really taking time. Oh, and a cheeky up and floaty pass there to break the wall. Who's going to flinch here? And at the edge of the open side there for Hot Chili, just swinging side to side, and that's what you want if you're Hot Chili, just trying to stretch that zone defense.
Yeah, so Singapore Disc Knights standing quite far off their players, but that means the throwers can do what they want. Hot Chili looking like Zono, no problemo. They make it very easy work on a nice clean hold.
I think the adjustment there for your Disc Knights, I mean, I understand just to give space so that you can bother the cutters, but you have to be a little bit nearer to those handlers just to bother them a little bit, not give them those easy throws, right?
Yeah, interesting that they opted to hold the zone D all the way to the end.
Yeah.
The problem is, like, once you get to this point when you're in the red zone, if you give that much space to the throwers, they can throw, you know,
whatever they want.
Yeah. And, you know, Chile have shown that they've got the skill. Lau here, nice swing across to Kelly. And then just that easy continuation. There was no one else in that space bar Pat Christie.
And even though, as you can see that replay, is number 72 of Singapore, he had to choose there, right? Yeah. If he wanted to go to the other side, another player was open. So some communication needs to be improved for Disc Knights if they want to be successful in that zone defense.
Yeah. Either better communication or maybe just transition to match, right?
Correct.
So yeah, interesting option for... I believe that was Chile that called the timeout, even though they were up a break.
Correct.
That's actually probably pretty good timing for Disc.
Exactly.
But yeah, I think maybe they're going to have to rework that zone a little bit more or go for a different option.
For sure. And here goes Disc Knights now. And Hot Chili, rather, sticking with their match person defense. Confident about how they can set the pace, and rightfully so. They were able to shut down handlers early. Oh, and a great grab, but looks like bobbles through his hands.
In and out, wasn't it?
Correct.
He got down on the ground. It was almost a bit of a ground strip, like he had initial control, but I think as his elbow hit the ground, the disc bounced out of his hands.
It looks like a little bit of a rain shower now showing. I think from the weather, it was sunny a little bit now. Sun is gone so far. And here's Hot Chili. Quickly swing down the middle. On a hawk here to the end zone. Just out of his hands.
That was way too much blade on that disc, coming in way too quickly for receiver. The receiver went up for a one-hand grab, which was an interesting choice because that was always going to bounce out anyway, even if he made contact.
Extremely hot for the Hot Chili pass.
Too hot to handle.
Too hot to handle. Indeed, and Disc Knights again, another chance to clean up their O. You can sense the intensity building between these two teams. They really want to get that dub as early as possible.
Yeah, certainly want to stand for throw to this game. Hot Chili already up a break. They're going to want to extend this lead.
Oh, just what I thought. I thought he was going to shoot that hawk, but holsters it at the last seconds. Opted for a small ball. Disc Knights at the break side. Or actually at the open side, it looks like they're being forced. Oh, amazing layout D! And another one!
Oh my goodness, both players diving out. I thought there might have been a collision there, but they did well to avoid body contact.
Amazing layout block from Hot Chili 2, actually, for security. And quickly, someone's going to streak deep. Hot Chili, opposite, tight pass there. That causes the turnover. Disc Knights quickly send it one of their own. Who's going to win it here? Bang!
My goodness me. That disc had no right to be caught by the receiver. The disc was floating above his head. He had turned around to do a 360. Somehow, The disc ends up falling in his lap. He manages to see it at the very last millisecond. But, oh gosh, Hot Chili, I felt like they had the energy. They had the upper hand in that whole point. But out of nowhere, Disc Knights managed to sneakily convert that point. Very impressive to be able to convert points even though you're down, right? And sometimes that might be the critical way to win. So you see this loser side disc goes completely over the head, manages to sneak a little glimpse, and you can see defender very, very annoyed at the way that disc felt. Marcus Haynes. Oh, Marcus Haynes there with the layout block. And then a second effort here. Oh, the players do very well to avoid contact. Turnbull just going for it, knowing that this wasn't down yet.
And great spirit between those players saying, hey, are you all right? I mean, did I hit you too hard? And that's just amazing display of spirit from both of those players. But again, it looks like it's going to be a high-intensity match, partner, so far. Early in the points, seeing a lot of bodies flying across the field. Yeah,
there's been turnovers in every single point. There's been no clean holds yet, John. And like
Correct.
I said, the defensive intensity in particular has been a massive feature of this game. I'm looking forward to some more incredible plays. Might be really to see which offense can keep it clean.
That's very good perspective and observation there, partner, as always. And looks like a violation is being called, a pick is being called, so we'll momentarily stop play. But Hot Chili now almost at the half part of the field. Quick movements, forehand pass. Back to the open side now. Trap on that sideline. Oh, great inside throw. But looks like a miscommunication there, partner.
Yeah, he threw the disc thinking that the receiver was going there, but there was no one in sight. So I'm not sure if it was just a late change of direction or just a, like you said, blind miscommunication.
Chance for Disc Knights to even up the score now.
They've generated opportunities, but can they convert? Having to go for a difficult around break here. The Chile defense certainly hot on their heels and covering a lot of these under options.
And I can see that Singapore is noticing that they have the speed advantage, so taking advantage of the throw and run plays between those two handlers. See if that's going to be something. Oh, cheeky pass there to reset play.
Oh, there's a stall out called now, and there'll be some discussion. I think you're right that Singapore have the speed advantage, but, you know, Australia, they have the height and the width advantage. You know, trying to get around those huge marks of these 6-foot-plus players, they just have to extend so low and try and use the different release heights and release points.
Correct.
And so I think Hot Chili, the defensive pressure, both on the mark and downfield, are forcing some of those more errant flows, as we see here.
There, exactly your point. Right on cue there, partner. And Hot Chili with a chance to extend their lead. And here we go. Forehand passes connect, and looks like it's going to be an easy point, but no!
Commentators curse an easy point, John. Not sure what happened. That just went in and out of the hands of Miles Caston. Very unusual. Caston often save hands.
Very unusual at that, but looks like another unfortunate error. New Hot Chili able to take advantage to put their score up to 4.
I don't know what just happened there, John. Just turn, and then Hot Chili somehow scored.
Exactly, and very uncharacteristic turnovers. Some miscommunication from both teams,
sides, yeah.
right?
Agreed.
See it at the replay, just looking at where the error happened, and it looks like it's just an
overthrow.
Exactly.
Yeah, overthrow there, and then just well read by Hot Chili defense. They snuck in to help D, and then managed to intercept. And you know that's why you catch your Ds, right? Because if you catch your Ds, you can immediately start play.
Correct.
And Obsmond really had the steps on, and that was always going to be an easy score.
But just observing what's happening. Turnovers is dictating the game pace so far for both teams, right? So in terms of who's going to be, to your point earlier, who's going to be having the cleaner offense or cleaner points, right?
It's an interesting point you raised, John. I think with Hot Chili, they are, obviously applying pressure, generating the blocks. With Disc Knights, I don't know if it's actually their pressure. I actually think it's Hot Chili's kind of execution and decision errors. So it's actually more in Hot Chili's control, shall we say, because they can correct those like small errors and tidy up. And I think, you know, if they continue on this trajectory, they will probably end up with more of those clean offense points. I don't think this night's defense is particularly good. I think it's just Hot Chili having a few lapses in concentration. We saw that cold drop by Miles Caston. That was, you know, an example of that.
Exactly, and see how Hot Chili, it looks like they're going to be in a zone defense in some sorts. A little bit of 2-3-2 action right here. And I think it's an adjustment where they're noticing, like, as I mentioned, speed is in this night's favor, so they're trying to slow down the pace, as you can see here.
Yeah, I think it's wise. As you said, Singapore, very speedy team, the Disc Knights, and Hot Chili recognizing that, hey, we just want to try and take away some of that forward momentum, take away some of that speed, make them play that slow offense, have to find the holes, and, you know, make them uncomfortable or less comfortable.
Correct. And here we go as you quickly swing one side to the other. Oh, it looks like, I thought he was going to drop this, but it looks like he tweaked his ankle there. Very unfortunate.
Yeah, never like to see those kind of injuries. Maybe his foot just got caught a little bit in the grass there.
And see some discussion about what's happening here. I think this is Ong with the disc, and he will restart play for Disc Knights.
So you can see Hot Chili here kind of forcing middle. So you see the points, you see it come around contain. So he does really well to contain that continuation and then comes in here on the mark.
Excellent observation where just enough, and just when I thought that they were able to thread that pass in between those defenders, giving good yardage for Disc Knights now. Swing it down the middle, all the way to the other side. Great movement from the handlers. You can see them ushering his cutters to come in a little closer for them.
Yeah, I think Hot Chili, their front wall has done really well. They are sagging off, they are containing. They're saying, you know, you can swing side to side as much as you like. We'll let you have that, no worries.
Correct. And in response for Disc Knights, you're now going to a little bit of four-man handle movement here in response of what, you know, Hot Chili is doing, or making them do, rather.
Yeah, so Disc Knights making some slow ground. They are...
Whoa, it looks like an unfortunate error. It looks like he wasn't ready for that pass.
Yeah, and that's what happens, right? If you increase the number of passes that your opposing team have to throw, you increase the chance of them making a mistake.
Exactly, and it's just really unfortunate. I was also surprised that he was going for a dump. Didn't notice, I didn't feel that he was ready to actually get that pass, but nonetheless, Hot Chili, chance to extend the lead here. Swing it down the middle, number 7, Narayan. Passes it over. Back to Narayan. Narayan, oh, forehand is going to be way out of bounds.
I think he was hoping there was a bit more blade on that outside
Correct.
in, but not enough, unfortunately, in the end.
It looks like there's a call happening, but
there's a foul called. Not entirely sure what the foul was, a downfield foul. Maybe a push-off or something in the stack.
But just to remind the viewers there, it looks like the contact and foul happened away from the disc. Now the question is,
did it affect play?
Correct? Or was it way before the throw? Those are some of the questions that you will ask them each other.
Yeah, because if Narayan had already thrown that, like not realizing that the foul had occurred, then it didn't affect, right? Because the thrower didn't realize it was a call.
Exactly. As we look here, back to the replay to see.
But I guess if the argument was that, hey, that foul affected my ability to go and make a play, I don't know. Anyway, we'll let the players have a chat and resolve it all. And game advisor there clarifying the rules as well. So yeah, it looks like that play will stand. Did not affect.
Correct. I think that would be the right call there, given that even though there was contact in the stack, did it affect Narayan's decision to be able to throw that
was just
disc?
an execution error.
Correct. So Disc Knights, again, another chance.
So we see Chile again setting up on this kind of arrowhead, so forced sideline, forcing these side-to-side throws. This time they do get a gainer, so a high release over the stature.
Ambitious throw from one side to the other. Disc Knight does. Move it side, but again, Hot Chili's taking that in. That's okay for them so far because not a lot. Even though they got yardage, see, it's going back to the other side.
Yeah, it's interesting because the front row seem to be like switching up the force. Initially, I thought it was a force side, but then they kind of, this moment they do try and trap it here to this close sideline. So let's see how this eventuates.
If I were this Knights here, seeing how much space has been given to me, I would just attack that, be able to do a throw and run just to really force, Hot Chili.
Yeah, I agree. It's very, very static. Like, I would like to see the Disc Knight players use their legs a bit more. They've got the run, they've got the speed.
Just like that.
Yes, that's it. That's the way you're going to break a zone. You're going to make them move so you can open up some gaps.
Because you can see that they're noticing that Hot Chili is really junking that little middle portion, not giving the cutters of Disc Knights any option. So, Disc Knights, handlers got to attack that.
I have to say, recognition for the Hot Chili wing defense, right? They are timing their movement perfectly. As it's coming across to their side, they are really making sure that they are stopping that continuation option. Here, they let one out, but previously they've been doing very well to contain that cut.
But I love the chess match between these two teams right now, just really showcasing how they can quickly adjust on what's being given to them. Amazing display of strategy between these two teams.
Yeah, I think it's very sensible for Hot Chili to just take the pace away from the game and force Disc Knights to throw and say, look, can you throw 100 passes
It's a cheeky pass there, getting it back. And great recognition to pass it all the way to number 73, Chong.
Oh, looks like they are holding the zone. Shouts of keep it up from the sideline.
Oh, and almost a layout deep from Hot Chili. But great concentration for this Knights. You can see the intensity rising for Hot Chili. Oh, cheeky fake there to make that player bid. Opens it up for him, and this Knights with their third score.
Just manages to sneak it under the arm of the defender. We didn't count the number of passes, John, but I reckon that was probably 40 or 50 at the very least.
Very least. If I was a betting man, roughly around 50. Amazing score, amazing movement there. And that was actually Min Jun Lee to Kang Jun Kenneth Su for the score. And that has been the longest point duration at 8 minutes, partner.
Yeah, well earned, certainly for Disc Knights. Hot Chili, certainly hot on the inside here for, like you said, just that fake, creating that space, punches it through. So the Hot Chili zone defense working a treat at the moment.
And that's credits to the spacing of the Disc Knights cutters there. He had to choose which side to protect, and I mean, just too wide of a gap for that marker of Hot Chili to cover.
Interesting because both teams with their zone D have opted to keep it all the way until the end zone. I think Hot Chili probably did a little bit better in terms of holding off that eventual score, but it'll be interesting to see if they opt for a transition later on just to try to get a little bit more intensity on that receiving touch.
And here we go. It looks like this Knights showing off their own zone defense here. Interesting. Chess move.
So I think similarly, and that's the overhead hammer. Beautifully spotted, open player, Turnbull.
That was passed on with the pass, a catch. Now, great recognition. It moving one side to the other. Hot Chili making great work, and here's a beautiful hawk. Almost a little bubble there.
Jeez. Aussie will be pleased to manage to trap that one. Like you said, it almost looked too easy. Well-spotted open receiver. You cannot let Osborne stand alone like that in the end zone. He's going to punish you 9 times out of 10. James Osborne with a lovely score for Hot Chili.
And that's his second goal in this game so far. He's been the favorite target for the Hot Chili handlers.
And would you believe it's the first clean hold of the game? I called it. I said Hot Chili were going to be the ones. They just look so much more composed and controlled at this point in time. Despite those bobbles, managing to save it, as we see here. Takes 3 shots.
And at the same time, that's Michael Kelly's second assist now in this game.
Yeah, Michael Kelly, James Osborne have been playing together a long, long time. Had a lot of success with Chile in recent years. Very interesting in terms of Hot Chili. for the first time back in the 2023, they actually did not qualify for Division 1 Nationals. So in Australia, we have Division 1 and Division 2. They did not qualify in 2023, so they had 2 teams in Division 2. Then managed to qualify the next year. 2024, they actually managed a bronze. So to come from not qualifying the previous year, qualifying for Div 1 and getting a medal place, they've come a long way in that short space of time.
Amazing progress on that partner, being from nowhere close to podium finish to be able to get a medal. Goes well for Hot Chili's program, partner.
Absolutely, yeah. And Kelly and Osman definitely a big part of that. Certainly been playing on the O-line together for a long time. They're Yeah, and alongside Caston and Dave Evans, some new blood as well. They've got a lot of really good established chemistry.
And here we go. It looks like Hot Chili will stick to their guns as far as zone defense goes. Who's going to blink from the defensive line, right?
Yeah, so just forcing the small ball. And again, I think just really static from this night. Like, they've got the legs, use it. Oh, there we go. That's the way.
Right on cue there, partner, recognizing that they have the legs and skills to throw and quickly making good attack against that zone defense Disc Knight does.
The rain's starting to fall a little bit as well, so, you know, perhaps a little bit of a slippery disc as well coming to play here.
So something to keep a watch on that, and if you're Disc Knights, be extra careful with your catches, right? Pancake is something that you definitely want to take into consideration when catching the disc now. A little bit of discussion. Looks like a foul's being called. Being called by number 11, Yusei Tadakura. And this will replay back for Disc Knights. Oh, great threading pass between those cup of Hot Chili.
Now trying to use their legs. Oh, and that's a hammer, but tall timber. Hot Chili come down with the D and a big hut to go.
And here it goes. It's anyone's battle. Oh, able to pluck it from the air. Hot Chili does. Amazing concentration. We'll see if they're able to convert that. Oh, looks like a call is being made.
All the way back on that huck.
And just looking from the Singaporean players, it looks like a signal of either a foul call or single. It's being out.
So, in-out call? So maybe, I think the reception from Dave Evans, maybe there's a chat about whether it was in or out. So the rain's starting to fall a bit more heavily now, John.
Exactly, and it's going to change the dynamics of the game right now as we look at that replay just to see that beautiful hawk from 21, and we'll see if we can... Oh, it looks like he was inbound there, so to speak. Actually, really inbound there.
Yeah, I think that left foot clearly landed down. I mean, look, that's the far sideline. We don't have a great perspective, but it did look like the left foot came down first. That was the first point of contact, and it did look like it was inbound from here. But the game advisor, I think, was quite far away, right, because that huck came from all the way back.
Exactly.
And so difficult to know whether Ben had perspective of that one or not. But look, I mean, if there's a contest and they're not sure, we'll just go back to the thrower, right?
Exactly. It looks like it will...
The play will stand.
And
the continuation
correct.
As well, yeah.
And Hot Chili will retain disc. Looks like a violation is called.
As per usual, people
correct.
Trying to get their feet in the right place. Trying to not take off before the disc is tapped
exactly.
in.
And usually that's been noticing a lot of players are doing that violation because not knowing when to restart and not when the disc was started in. So as you can see, the wind is starting to pick up a little bit and the rain has now started to pour. It looks like the sun is going to hide for a little bit. And here's Hot Chili. Oh, I thought he was going to do a layout by this nice, but not to do so. Hot Chili gets her 6th point.
That's Hot Chili's 3rd break of this game. So really picking up a bit of momentum here, John. They got that first clean hold in the last point, and now this is a clean break to boot. So certainly putting the foot on the accelerator, asking the questions of Disc Knights.
Exactly. I think as you look at that replay, as a beautiful pass and tiptoe from Hot Chili player number 24.
Dave Evans there.
David
He's
Evans.
been a real champ. Had the pleasure of playing with his brother Mark Evans, who's based in the US, but Mark actually came across to Australia to play nationals with Hot Chili. So Dave and Mark playing together as brothers, which is really nice.
It's really nice. Brotherly love at that, and Hot Chili greatly representing Australia here in terms of excellent movement, excellent mind in terms of what they want to achieve from these points.
And, you know, Hot Chili actually gaining a lot of international experience. In fact, they actually came over earlier this year to Japan to play Dream Cup. So they had a opens, a women's, and a mixed team at Dream Cup. And so a lot of these players have done a lot of travel in recent times just to try and get some more exposure, different styles of play. And I think that's actually really helped them in this game and hopefully in this tournament.
And I think it... Oh, and an unfortunate error there from Disc Knights. Close to the end zone. Hot Chili has just a short field to work with. Fake on that backhand pass. Looking for the open side. Looks like a call. Execution from Disc Knights is missing, partner. And looks like Hot Chili taking full advantage.
Oh, and that was a high score situation. There's going to be a call. So the dump had to really jink and jive Mugos there.
You can see the wind is a little bit of a crosswind here, partner. It looks like it's picking up as well. Conditions of the field and weather proving very challenging now. And here's Hot Chili looking. Forehand pass is secured. Plucked from the air. 7 point for Hot Chili.
Second clean break in a row for Hot Chili. They are absolutely up on ascendancy here in the latter stages of the second half. Pete Mugos, he's come back from an ACL recently. Long-time president of Chile Ultimate Club. Very pleased to get on the board with an assist and well-deserved after his hard work coming back from a long-term injury.
Amazing display of athleticism from Dingnam to get that and score. And as you can see, Hot Chili pulling away early in the first half now, and see how Disc Knights can respond.
Yeah, no surprises here. Looks like Disc Knights have called a timeout. I think when you've gone down 2 breaks in a row, it's definitely a time to kind of reset. And as you said, a change in the weather conditions too over the last couple of points. The rain started to fall, initially light, now a little heavier. A little bit of a crosswind up and down. So, yeah, the disc is going to be a little bit more slippery and difficult to handle. So we're going to have to see who is more clean with disc in hand.
And see how Disc Knights, you can see from number 81 there, I can see how passionate he is instructing his team. Say, look, let's try to regroup from this, try to get our clean holds. And in return, try the D-line, try to force some of those turnovers, partner.
Yeah, I think Hot Chili's defense, like their zone has been working fantastically, right? And, you know, I think the zone, it's psychological pressure that's really got Disc Knights, right? The psychological pressure and having to throw up the passes and then have to continue performing. We had that 8-minute point a while ago.
Correct.
They did end up scoring that one, but I think they used up a lot of that mental energy and concentration on those long points, and that subsequently had to, you know, come down a little bit in that focus, allowed Hot Chili to take full advantage. And kudos to Chile who have.
Correct. Full advantage, and looks like the wind is starting to pick up as we felt here in the booth, partner, and see how it goes. Still a lot of game here so far. The timeout was called by Disc Knights. So see how they can recover from that, and what was the discussion, really. And here's the pull. Hot Chili with that. See how this pull lands, and just right at the brick mark, Disc Knights. And it looks like they're going to stick with their zone defense here. Disc Knights.
No surprises, that zone coming out. It's been working well for them. Why not continue on? This time we have to see how the Disc Knights are going to work through them. There's only 3 people in the backfield. They need more bodies. They need more rotation. They need some more movement to generate some gaps in this zone.
And just like that, quick run through. Great forward pass there actually by Disc Knights. And the rain is now pouring hard as we speak. Disc Knights Looking for options here in the middle. Quick movement to the break side now. Again, not a lot of options for the cutters. It's just handlers here, and at some point, that's going to tire them out as this point progresses, partner.
Yeah, I think the downfield cutters, they're very, very static, right? They need to move because they need to keep the defenders on their toes. Right now, the hot chili deep defenders and the wing defenders, you know, they're just sitting pretty, right? They're just hanging out. They're like, oh, you're not causing me much trouble. I don't really have to pay attention. You're not a threat. So, like, yeah, I know that a lot of the focus is on the handlers at the moment, but as a downfield cutter, you still need to make the effort to move, give them a different look, give some movement, make the defenders have to think. Otherwise, they're just going to take it really easy and settle in and get the block.
To your point, but here we go. This night, maintaining composure so far, but not a lot of movement towards their scoring end zone. Oh, I thought he was going to dump that. Really tight, and good that he opted to hold it. Again, it's really tight for this night. It's just not generating a lot of forward passes. And credits to Hot Chili.
And you know what's quite impressive with Chile, and part of why their defense has been so strong, is the communication from the sideline. Like, you can hear the calls, you can hear the sideline players giving information to the ones on field. Fantastic layout
amazing
grab.
Layout grab to keep that disc alive for this night. And just opening up the field now for them. And a hammer throw is no good.
Well read by the deep defender. That was a hammer and a half. It immediately bladed and then spiraled backwards. So it was always going to be a very difficult read, and I think advantage the defender in these wet conditions as well.
Unfortunate, and something that you'd like to think that could have holstered that pass a little bit there, partner.
Yeah,
they were so close to their end zone. Something I felt that they didn't need to do so.
Yeah, I think they just felt the pressure and thought they needed to rush it, right?
Probably fatigue is now playing a factor, and they wanted to end that point as quickly as possible, given that they're near the end zone. But here, Hot Chili in response. Quick small ball so far, just on one side. Looking, and a foul is called. It looks like that is a foul on the mark. Great marking there. Amazing pass to the middle. This pass is going to be too high, but oh, no problem for number 33. And a whips it, a forehand pass too high.
Second grab.
Is it no good? No good.
Jeez, Ian Swar manages to get upstairs to reel that one down, and then threw another inside flick. That one went a bit higher than he intended. He did have a second option picking up the scraps, but ran out of space on that sideline. So
you can see the Disc Knight players head down. Looks like they're feeling the pressure and the fatigue now setting in for them.
Yeah, I agree. I think the body language is a little bit negative and fatigued and stuff. I think they need some high energy, maybe like someone making a big play,
Going
inspiration.
to say, correct.
Yeah, or you need those high players on the team,
Correct.
you know, the ones that get the energy, get the voices up. They're just so quiet at the moment. Everything's being dominated by Hot Chili.
As someone from the team sideline for myself, that would be my role in terms of trying to, you know, really try to, hey guys, come on, we can do this. We can, momentum's on our side. We can do this. We trust ourselves.
Yeah. Sometimes just like giving some hope and positivity can go a long way, right? It's all those like intangible things. Oh, and tip smart completed. That was a nice bid there by Tanakura.
But again, this night, working well inside the defending end zone, and finally they can get some small movements forward there. Again, Hot Chili, right on point with their zone defense.
Yeah, so you can see how relaxed the Hot Chili defenders are. They're just hanging out. Oh, yeah, not too worried. This night's really just have to make them work a little bit harder.
And I feel that other Singapore this night's player on the right side of the field is just way too far out. Probably if he can just come a little closer to give them options. I think he's just too far out.
Yeah, I agree. I think like, as a wing offense, you have to coordinate with your other wing, right? Someone has to go deep, someone has to come in, so that the defenders has to choose one person to follow.
Correct.
If they follow one, then the other one's going to be free. So you just got to
Exactly.
coordinate that and cycle that movement.
Here we go now, this Knights. Oh, it looks like...
That's going to be a foul call. Or even a strip call.
Strip call. It looks like a strip call, but great press of mind from number 93. Just checking on his jersey numbers, unable to, but number 93 from Hot Chili. Great press of mind to run through to that, the space of Lee of this Knights as we look at the replay.
I think that's Ian Swar. Yeah, Ian Swar, number 33. The shorts not matching the shirt. Always tricky for us commentators for ID when there's a discrepancy in numbers. But Ian Swar, who had that great upstairs grab, now showing his prowess on defense. So Ian Swar is actually one of the Division 2 players from the most recent season, the AOUC. So looking to step it up a level here on the international stage.
Felt like Ian was first to the disc there. If I look at the replay, it looks like he was first there in the play. But
certainly
Min Jun Lee has other observations,
yeah.
ideas, and again, they are in the play and have more more say in terms of how they felt in terms of the play happening and transpiring.
Yeah, and sometimes I think the conversation's extended out. Clearly, they're not coming to a resolution. So if time is running, you've had a chat, you both still think differently, then it's like, okay, let's treat it as a contest and go back to the previous group.
Correct. And it looks like it will happen at that. This Knights retain play.
I have to say, I have noticed a lot of the Singaporean teams, including Dis Knights, when they were playing against a match defense, they tended to have the three handlers doing their weave and then the downfield cutters really quite far away, right? Leaving the handler space. I think, unfortunately, for Dis Knights in this game, what a bid. Not quite there. Unfortunately for Dis Knights, the downfield cutters have maintained that, so they're giving the handlers plenty of space.
Correct.
But in this zone situation, they actually need to, move more and actually come closer to the disc.
Correct. So that to be able to give, again, options. It's all about options for these handlers to get some movement other than from the handlers, right?
Options and giving the defense something to have
Correct.
to adapt to.
Exactly.
So a couple of calls now in the wet.
And this is going well for Hot Chili. It looks like this is going to be the longest point that they're playing for both teams.
Yeah, so remember before this point, Dis Knights had actually called a timeout because Chile had broken twice in a row. So I'm sure they had a game plan going into this point with the timeout to reset. Can they execute it here?
Execution's one thing, but will they have the patience as well? And they're moving backwards. Not something, of course, you'd like to reset the disc, but gotta move forward here if you're Dis Knights, and just like that. It's really tough for the Dis Knights handlers here. They're just doing all of the work so far.
Yeah, and also the rain just becoming heavier and heavier. I think the weather forecast here was thunderstorms in the morning, potentially a bit more dry in the afternoon, but pretty miserable conditions at the moment on field. I'm sure I'm glad we are undercover.
And good job to all of the volunteers that are under the ring, the gamekeepers and the game scorers and the timekeepers doing an excellent job. Oh, and looks like an errant pass straight to the Hot Chili's chest there. Dis Knights a little mentally defeated so far. And here Hot Chili taking advantage. Break side pass is complete. Will that continue? No.
Hot Chili with a chance to break for half.
An amazing pass there. Great shape pass outside in. Number 40, Turnbull, reeling it in for their 8-point, and we're in half at that.
Yeah, that is Hot Chili. 3 breaks straight. So clean hold, 3 breaks straight. If they continue on like this in the second half, I think it's going to be very difficult for Dis Knights. Saying that, though, they can certainly turn things around, show that they've got the fight. Just like we saw in previous games, it's not over until it's over. So Hot Chili with the ascendancy here in the first half. Dis Knights with plenty of work to do. As we said, Hot Chili, once they get possession, They were absolutely clinical despite a bidding defender and some help D as well this night. Certainly not lacking in effort. Just that lapse of mental concentration really punishing them at the moment.
And we'll be back after this exhilarating match between This Knights and Hot Chili at this halftime. Please stay tuned for the second half here live from Kamisu City, Malaysia Oceanic Championships. And we're back from that halftime break. Here the second half, this Knights look to recover, and Hot Chili again and their amazing zone defense shut down this Knights.
Yeah, it's a pretty steady rainfall now. Just see if they can work their legs and work some movement. As we said, a couple of lapses in concentration mentally open the door, and Hot Chili taking full advantage of those opportunities so far. He's finished off the half with a clean hold, the first one of the game, and then 3 breaks on the trot. So let's see if that halftime reset.
And adjustment so far, they've moved to a 4-man handle now to generate more movement. And that's what I'm saying, where number 6 of Singapore gotta make that middle defender from Hot Chili to choose which side.
Yeah, they work their way through that kind of front wall, but after that, the downfield players are not set up for that continuation. As you see here, the defenders doing really well to keep their bodies.
And that's a huge contact there. Hope everyone is there, but that's a huge contact. A hard contact, I meant. And it just looks like a bang-bang play from that. Hot Chili trying to take advantage, trying to run through that defensive, run through that play for the handlers, from the handlers.
Yeah, it's pretty tight in there. Like you say, I like the strategic move of bringing 4 handlers back, but it does mean that it's very, very congested, and, you know, the Hot Chili players aren't afraid to bid. Have a look at the replay here. So you can see that kind of upline cut into the cup, but then the cup actually moves in and collapses, and yeah, hard to know if that's an offsetting foul or, you know, one player moved before the other. It looked to me that they were both going for the same space.
Exactly, and that was Peter Mogos that jumped in to try to really defend that play. It looks like everyone's okay from that, and this Knights will have a chance to replay. Oh, one-hand catch is good. Little too high, bobbled through his hands, but able to get it back. Great concentration. Oh, and almost a D from Hot Chili.
Well done by the Disc Knights to keep the disc off the ground, especially in these wet and slippery conditions.
Oh,
and
great pass there, threading down the middle. And this is what you want from Disc Knights in response. Hopefully they can keep the momentum forward here.
I like this movement from the Disc Knights, faking one way, throwing the other, staying really nice and low and bouncing the pivots. This one's a high one, but they get it off to the fat side. Lots of fakes, losing their legs. I like this. This is much better zone offense from the Disc Knights.
And you can see there's a lot of conscious effort to really jump that middle, forcing the Hot Chili cup, the zone, or wall rather, to choose a side.
Yes.
Oh, amazing fake there by Lee. Lee gives it back
and they've
to Lim.
transitioned to match. So you can hear the calls. They're going for a match
And
now.
someone's momentarily open there. Didn't take full advantage by this Knights in there. Able to swing it to the other side. Lee able to get it back. Swings it all the way to the other side. Ong looking. Gives it back to Lee.
Lee having to do a lot of hard work, but a lovely break around on that flick.
Ong looking at the edge of the end zone. Lee was striking for the upline. Denied momentarily. Quick pass to the break side. Score by number 0, Sue.
My goodness, Disc Knights, what a way to bring out their first clean hold of the entire game and the first one of this half. Lee doing a ton of work. Min Jun Lee in the handler space, marshalling the troops. Ong coming back a couple of times as well. And eventually using those legs, forcing Hot Chili to transition to match. And that, I think, really made the offense look much easier. As you see here, just this upline strike. Nope, that's not on. Let's go for the fill. And then the swing around. So finally, the Disc Knights offense getting things moving.
And that was Hang with that beautiful pass to Sue. And And that will be his 4th goal in this game. In a great way to start the second half, partner, to your point, right? For this Knights. Great response against that zone, that impenetrable zone defense of Hot Chili, and see how it's going to progress.
And so we get a look at the Disc Knights D. I think starting on D, I'm really curious to see what they put on. Are they going to stick with the match? Are they going to opt for a zone? Looks like it will be an arrowhead zone, but Chile get the first pass off quickly upfield.
Quickly upfield now. This is Castan. All the way to the other side. For Christie.
Match defense now for Disc Knights.
Oh, it looks like low throw, and it's a turnover. First one this second half. Disc Knights, a chance to shorten the gap.
Disc Knights showing that they've got the fight here.
Fake backhand pass. Opts to swing it down the middle. Oh, great extension!
What a D from Osmond. Way to get horizontal and easy as you like. 2-throw conversion. Their O-line keep it up. And Hot Chili, not a clean O, but an O nonetheless, and that's all that matters in this second half.
Just when you thought the momentum was going to swing to Disc Knights, great effort from the Hot Chili, especially with that full extension layout to deny Disc Knights momentum.
Yeah, Osmond, full extension, and they do so well to throw and go and just get the disc moving before the defense had any chance. Osmond there with a really good showing on the stat board. I know we're not tracking the blocks at the moment, but I'm going to give him an extra one for that, a +1. Good work, Jimmy.
And that was Riley Wood with the score, his 2nd in this game. Again, really unfortunate for this night, just when you thought really it was a great showing of their defense. But at the same time, some execution errors from Hot Chili there. It was a low pass, not a lot of, I would say, forced defense from this night to cause that turnover.
Yeah, and we kind of spoke about this earlier in the game,
yes.
Right? Like the first quarter-ish of the game, I think the turns that Chile were giving up were actually within their control because it was mostly their execution errors rather than really good defense from Disc Knights. And so, like you said, sustaining this level of intensity and level of performance for the whole game, you're going to have some dips and troughs. And sometimes it's about how you can work through the times when, okay, maybe you're not performing 100% or amazingly, but you're still able to eke out the score and eke out the points.
Correct. And here's Disc Knights now. Ong. Oh, it's going to be a little too high, but able to secure it. Number 21, Lim. Back to Ong now. Ong. It's just between these two players. Ong. And ooh, great pass there to Lee. Cheeky at that.
Oh, very small channel. A very unconventional shape on the dump, but with both of the defenders.
And Lee shoots it to the end zone. No good. Hot Chili with the deny.
Hot Chili again, just forcing those kind of, I guess, rush throws in a way, John. I don't think the receiver was particularly clear or had any separation, and then the execution also kind of let them down. So combination there, I think, of Hot Chili forcing that mental pressure and lack of composure.
Exactly at that. And looks like a violation is going to be called. Going to return back to the middle for Hot Chili. And this is Cheng. Cheng faked that forehand. Gives it all the way to Narayan. Narayan. Violation call. It's going to be retained.
Pick on field, I think, downfield.
Pick. It's going to stay with Turnbull. Some huge, deep breaths from Turnbull. Rightfully so, has been all over the field so far. Turnbull to Narayan. Narayan to one. Passes quickly to number 24, Evans. Evans, floaty pass. Who's going to get it there? Great bid and block from Disc Knights. Gets the disc back.
Just a little bit too high there. Small execution again, creeping into Hot Chili's game.
See some chinks on the offensive armor of Hot Chili, having some of those uncharacteristic errors now. Oh, great match person defense on the handler, bobbled through his hands, fingers. This night, again, Hot Chili with another chance.
This night with some chinks of armor on their own. I think they are really fighting to try and stay in this game, fighting the conditions, fighting Hot Chili, having to fight for every single point.
Narayan has it, disc. Trap on that sideline, opts to swing it down to Cheng. Cheng gives it back to Sua. Sua and a score, reeled in by Turnbull. 10 point for Hot Chili.
That is yet another break point for Hot Chili, so they are steaming away here, up to 10-4 now. Really confident play, I think, and I think the other thing is that even if they make a couple of small execution errors, they're able to pick it up and actually get the possession back. I think that's also been a big part of why they've been so successful in this game so far, John.
Exactly to your point, and I think being able to recover that, and very good short ball or small ball gaming from Hot Chili. I was expecting that they were going to throw it downfield given with their height advantage, but I think experience plays in there where they know the weather conditions not favorable for those type of plays, and they're opting to be a little more safer on that point now, partner.
Yeah, I think also like we spoke about earlier, I think they've taken some inspiration from some of the teams around the region, playing the small ball, using their throws and those small windows and channels. I'd love to see, I've really enjoyed seeing some of their inside flick work as well. And yeah, I think it's a great way to have some different tools in your arsenal. So, if one thing's covered, you can do the other thing.
Correct. And probably to your point, you mentioned they joined the Dream Cup. That's huge in terms of looking at the different style of play that they're used to back home for sure.
That's a nice pull into the end zone, and again forcing all the way back. That was a trailing edges, but somehow captured.
Correct, by number 9 there, able to reel it in. Oh, in a full extension layout to keep that disc alive. Oh, just some cheeky passes there from this night. Floating, and just right goes to his hands. Very unfortunate. And again, a short field for Turnbull to work, and it quickly goes downfield, just too low.
Plenty of slide there. Slippery conditions here at Kamisu, Ibaraki, Japan. Disc Knights will get another shot at this offensive point.
And here's Ong to start at that edge of the end zone. Great pass, one-hand catch. 81 thought about it, but will holster it in. It's Leong down the middle to Lee. Oh, it's a high pass. Oh, amazing layout bid.
Turnbull turning it up here on field. Didn't manage to reel in an earlier shot, but makes amends with that defensive effort.
Great full layout extension, full layout rather. Turnbull all over the place so far. And here's one to Turnbull. Turnbull all the way to Cheng. Turnbull. It looks like a zone defense of sorts for this Knights in response.
And I think not a bad option, right? Like, just, again, slowing down the pace, I think. Sometimes, like, just trying to have control of the tempo of the game.
Give a different look, so to speak.
Yes.
And here's number 11, Tanakura. All the way to the other side. Turnbull. Turnbull with that high arcing forehand pass is complete. Quick movement now. This is with number 11, Tanakura. Fakes it. Turnbull, quick 1-2 pass to Tanakura with the score.
Beautifully done by Hot Chili. Disc Knights did well to initially slow things down and make Hot Chili throw side to side. But once Hot Chili punched through that first wall, Disc Knights just cannot contain it, and they're off to the races. Continue. Free options everywhere. Very difficult to stop Hot Chili. As we see here, they've always got one player free. Disc Knights trying to catch up but unable to contain, and I think Hot Chili kind of doing a good example of what I was hoping Disc Knights could do, in using their legs, churning from that back space to go up line and push up. It's really worked well in their favour.
Worked well in their favor now, and looks like Hot Chili is running away with this game so far. And I think if there's something to take away for Disc Knights, it's about how can they respond against a zone defense in the future if it's going to be thrown against them. And it's really about the adjustments on the cutters to be a little bit closer.
A bit more active.
Correct, and be more active, making that zone to choose which side to defend. But on the other side, Hachi just clearly taking a grab on this game. Amazing, amazing defense from that. And here's Disc Knights. Looking downfield, not a lot of movement there.
Oh, that's a bobble through hands.
Unfortunate. Looks like Disc Knights a little fatigued now with all the errors in play. And there it goes. Another quick score. Hot Chili with their 12th point. Amazing display of defensive stance from Hot Chili there.
Yeah, it just feels like every time they get possession on defense, they're just converting it, aren't they? These clean breaks really stacking up.
And I think it's coming from the amazing zone defense they brought out that's forced Disc Knights to be mentally fatigued. I mean, definitely physical fatigue, but the mental fatigue is playing out. I know how it's difficult to play against that tight zone that they have.
Yeah, the long points, like you say. I mean, out of all of the breaks which Hot Chili have, 3 of them have been clean breaks, or 4 of them have been clean breaks. So like you said, mentally, I think that does play on your mind. So, you know, when they're getting the opportunity, they are converting at a very high rate. In fact, they've had 7 breaks in total for this game, and like I said, 4 of them clean. So it makes it very difficult for your offense to come back from something like that.
Just interesting story as you're looking at the Disc Knights here. Just want to share this story. Back in 2023 in AOUGC, I had the lovely opportunity to meet some great players. I lost my phone on the field. I was ready to give up. Myself and my wife are trying to go all throughout the field to find it. And these 2 players from Disc Knights just gradually, just out of nowhere, just said, look, if you need help, we're happy to stay. And it took us roughly around 20 minutes. And they were able to find my phone. I was really grateful. It was just a great sense of community. Like, they don't know me. I'm a stranger to them, but they were happy to say, hey, I'm happy to help out with you. And just wanted to share that. Really huge shout out to the Disc Knights there. And I asked them, how can I repay them? And they look at me and pointed at my shirt, I want your jersey. And that's the reason why I left almost half naked from on the parking lot, because I had to give away my jersey, my Beanie Beanies jersey. But thank you so much, Disc Knights, for that lovely camaraderie.
Absolutely.
2 years ago.
Yeah, and it really exemplifies spirit and community, and you know why so many of us play this game and enjoy being part of this, right? I mean, these moments are really special, ones that you treasure, and you know, hopefully, you know, make the world a better place.
Correct. Wow. Make a world a better place indeed. But just piggybacking on that, really, it's really about the community in this sport. That's really different from any sports that we've played. So just really glad to have this sport. And as we get back to the action, great match person defense on the handler side, forcing Disc Knights to look for other options.
Yeah, I think a different look, right? Match defense. Certainly, it does seem that the Disc Knight offense are much more comfortable playing against this. Although I do hear some calls of home and away. I wonder if they're forcing middle, switching the defense as well. So different look. I like it. I like the variety that Hot Chili have shown.
Looks like some contact there that forced Chua to stop momentarily. He retained Disc. And get it back and give it back rather to Po. There's Chua. Oh, nice fake there to make the Hot Chili player make a bid. Stall count is definitely rising now. Ops for a forehand hawk all the way. Oh, great bid in defensive. It looks like a foul.
Yeah, well, actually, I was about to say that high saw throw was generated by a fantastic jump defense. Like, they had all of those options covered. The defense was so well coordinated. The mark was covering one direction, and then the other marks from the jump defense were covering the other option. So just that coordination, communication from Chile has been absolutely spectacular.
And that forced a turnover. It looks like a foul is being called as we look at the replay.
It didn't look like a lot of contact, and would it have affected play? Did he have a bit on that? I don't know. It looked like it was floating over his head anyway.
That's a very good question about that. Yes, I can definitely argue the point. Like, yes, there was contact from a little bit of a shove from behind from number 34, Osmond, of Hot Chili against Farhan. The question is, did he have a play?
Yeah. It looks like that had already gone over his head, and I don't think he would have had a second bid. I think that disc was trailing all the way away. Like, even if he ran and laid out, I don't know.
Looks like that has become the outcome of that call. Great spirit conversation between Farhan and Osman.
Always fair to have a chat about it, John. Like, in the heat of the moment, it's really difficult to make a call. Sometimes you just have a chat and then you realize, you know what, actually, maybe it should stand. And
correct.
That was a good outcome.
And here's Hot Chili making quick work now down the field. The backhand hawk sweetly goes to his hands. Last minute bid from Farhan's no good, and 20. Castan with the score.
Farhan really churning the meters here. He was the one involved in the play in the opposing end zone, so well done to him for getting down on the other end. I think still some positive things to take from this game for the Disc Knights.
It looks like, I mean, not thinking of any possible comebacks. Looks like Hot Chili is going to run away with this game, bearing any comebacks. And again, excellent showing from the Aussie team here.
Yeah, excellent indeed, I think. Finishing off the half with 3 straight breaks. Now they are 4 consecutive break points in a row.
4 consecutive break points. Amazing display of defense. And it's both from the match person defense and the zone defense, really. That's limiting these turnovers.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they've used a lot of different tools in the tool shed, right, in terms of the different strategy. I think even with the match, there was a forced middle that we just saw, and earlier just forced one way. And then that zone just exemplary. The communication that Hot Chili have in terms of their defensive structure is, first class.
And here's Disc Knights now. Quick move, had their movements here between the two players. See how they can finish strong for Disc Knights. Stokont was rising. Great trail down there from Disc Knights. And a backhand hawk. It's a one-on-one battle.
Oh.
Makes it. Gets it down for the score.
That was a beautiful grab by Huashuan Zheng. It was trailing over the head. He managed to essentially nudge his defender, not physically, but convince the defender to fly under the path of the disc. He was definitely outmatched for height, but this is just fantastic play. This was actually a very high score situation. Just throw it out into the space, allow the receiver to run onto it. As you can see, kind of make sure he keeps that space so that the Hot Chili defender, Marcus Haynes, was unable to make a bid. Kind of nudge him a little bit to the left, just so he had the side where the disc was falling to the right.
Correct. Great movement from this Knight's cutter there to get the space and get that disc. Again, that's his 5th point for this Knights.
So the rain now lightening a little bit, John. Not as heavy as before, so a bit of reprieve for some of the players and the sideline as well.
Of course, for anyone under this rain. And as I grew older, I rather have the hot sun than rain nowadays. It's just... Oh, and just like I said that, a hawk downfield, but looks like had no chance in air at all there.
Yeah, that did not come out of the hands as intended. I think maybe a bit of a slip with the wet disc. It just looks like it came out of the hands way earlier than desired.
All right. Here's number 8 there, Tahar. Interesting to see some discussion, but Tahar will get the disc. Ooh, tight pass there, but able to get it through. This Knight's looking downfield. Takes that dump pass. Someone's a little bit free there, and they able to take advantage. This Knights. Oh, great dump defense, as you mentioned again, their partner. Forcing another option, another player from this Knights to come down.
The rotation is looking good, though. They're definitely making different uses of the weave and the fill.
And just like that, quick forehand pass for the score.
Nazrul there with the score, getting to ground to ensure the disc wasn't bobbled out. Do you know what I noticed? It's interesting because a couple of times, this point and the previous point, disc Knights have actually, got to the point when they have convinced the defender to bite too much under, and they've kind of just put it out, floated it in front as a leading pass, a leading away pass, trusting the receiver to just run onto the disc. And after that, they get some momentum and they keep the disc moving. So I think that's unlocked their offense twice in 2 points. I want to see if they can do that again.
Great observation there, partner. It's that Disc Knights with their 6th point. I think just if you're just joining in the previous game, same scenario where in the first half was their undoing for the teams. Now for this Knights, it was really that first half that just gave them this huge mountain for them to climb for a comeback.
Yeah. And would you believe it? That is this Knights' first break point of the game.
Really now.
And it was a clean break.
Congratulations for them, and at least some positive things to come out from that D-line, right? You're just looking at small wins in the game. It's like a game within the game, so to speak, right?
Yeah, small margins, right? Like when you get to elite level, sometimes it's just a few moments which determines the outcome. So the rain very, very light now. Although, of course, the disc and the grass still very wet.
And here's number 3, Christy. They'll start play for Hot Chili. Start on the brick mark. Quick movement there. And a great run through D from this Knights. Caught off guard from the cutter who was just standing still and static.
Oh, can they get this away shot? Unlock the puzzle. Oh, a fully outstretched single-handed grab.
Great movement and great pass here. Number 1. Backhand pass tight, tiptoeing and all. Number 27 able to get that. That's Hugh. Asking for some help now. Oh. Tight pass there, and that cost a turnover. Asking too much from his teammate.
That channel was way too small. He had no right to complete that pass. It actually managed to get to the hands. I was very impressed. Oh, that was an opportunity gone begging for the D-line.
And here's a hawk downfield. 2 players against. Who's going to win it? And looks like just sails too far out.
Yeah, there was never an opportunity for the receiver. Again, I think that execution, I imagine that disc just kind of slipped out of the hands. Definitely wasn't the release that was desired.
As good as Osman has been in this game with 3 goals, that's just a little too far out for him and too far out the reach. But again, this Knights has a chance. Tahar will start play.
Can they fight for a late charge here, the Knights? This is an opportunity for their second break point in a row of the game. Oh, there's a tip and another tip and a collision. So that was a fantastic block there by Lau. And then the second block to make sure of it by Picard. But the 2 players were both going for the same space.
And the conversation here is the trip. As we look at the replay, that cost him not to have another chance to play here. But it looks like from that replay, it looks like Pickard was able to stop the play.
Yeah, it looks like he got in front and into the space first, right? But could he have done it without contact? Or maybe there was like a dangerous play call. That's a possibility. I think it's really hard because when one person is going up line and one person is coming from deep and coming under, the person going upline, you're kind of blindsided because you don't know that they're coming. And so once you feel their presence, sometimes you call a dangerous play because you're quite taken aback and shocked by someone being there unexpectedly.
Yes.
So I think definitely worthwhile talking these ones out. And I think there's a retracted call there, so I think that was a nice outcome of that play.
Here's Lau. Upline cut is complete for Christie. Christie gives it back to Lau. Oh, and just sails throughout. Good bother from the This Night players to confuse Wood there. And here again, This Night's another chance.
It's been a while since we've had like a multi-turnover point go for this long. In fact, 5 turnovers already, which is the most in any point so far.
Oh, great backhand throw. Quick movement with This Night's. A lot of field for them to work. And just like that, quick point for This Night's. And you can hear the roars and cheers from their sideline as they get their 7th point.
Incredible. They've made it 2 breaks in a row. Late charge in this game. And, you know, I think the other thing was the way that they had to get that break, right? So like I said, that's 5 turnovers in this point. That's the most turnovers in any point we've had in this entire game. Really tight match defense from both sides. But, you know, taking these really positives as like, hey, we can work, we can force turns. This Chile side, you know, we said yesterday that their result, they were up in the latter stages of the game. And then their opponents caught up and broke twice to win. Would there be some demons creeping in, perhaps?
And in front of us, on the other side for This Nights, yesterday, they were down 2 before forcing a universal point. So, is this the small margin that we're looking for where, say, look, guys, we've been in this position, albeit a little bit far out, but still, if I was in this next position, I would say, look, guys, we've done it before. Let's try to do it again. Take it 1 point at a time and see how it goes.
Yeah, and I think, you know, I'm really interested to see what happens with the defensive structures here on in, right? I feel like now that the rain's kind of settled and, you know, the zones haven't really been as prominent the last few points, you know, they've been sticking with the tight matches and have been generating turns. So let's just see which way this is going to swing. I feel like momentum-wise, actually Disc Knights have the momentum at the moment.
And see how they can carry that momentum forward, right? I think this is the beauty about the WFDF rules in terms of the soft cap, and then it's really about how many points you raise. It gives a lot of chance for these types of situations. Look, it's never over. It's never over. There's a race to whatever point, whether it be 15 or 14. You still have a chance. It's just about settling in. How can you get that comeback 1 point at a time? And this is what I love about this our sport of ours.
Yeah, certainly not over until it's over. So, like we said, clean holds have not been a strong feature of this game so far. Chile will be certainly hoping to get one here.
Here's some quick movement so far from Hot Chili, responding in kind. Looks like This Night's a little bit out of place. Not a lot of pressure on their on their defense. Right at their edge of the end zone. Hot Chili looking. This is Christie. Swings it down to Lau. Lau lasers it in to his teammates for their 14th point.
Caston with the goal there, tall timber. I really like that creative throw from Lau. That was an outside in, but to the inside space. So yeah, not something that's seen commonly, but using a different shape of just to get it to that intended space.
And that's a great response from Hot Chili. Just as you think the fire was now strengthening for This Night, able to just put a cup on that fire. Like, nope, not today, not right now, This Night, said Hot Chili.
Yeah, only the 4th clean hold of the game for Chile, but what a time to bring it out. They are not letting the demons of yesterday settle on their shoulders. Instead, they are shouldering the load and pushing on. It's 14-7 game point, although Disc Knights, they are starting on offense.
Denying that 4th break chance point by Disc Knights. So the Hot Chili just 1 point away from calling it a day now. And here's number 40. Turnbull with that ball. It's gonna land just outside their attacking end zone. And is it a zone defense? No, they're back to a match person defense. Quick movement so far. And this is Lee. Lee. Oh, cheeky pass right on top of that defender.
Again, this handler weave. So the downfield cutters setting so far away, allowing the handlers to get into
and
power
here's
position.
Lee shooting it downfield. Is it good? Bang!
What a fantastic score for Disc Knights. That is their first clean hold of their game now. So what a way to extend this one. Hot Chili having to play this offensive point to try and take the game.
And that was Kaiko reeling it in from a pass from Lee. Amazing concentration as we look at the replay.
Yeah, can I say this is very classical. As you see, the three-person in the weave, plenty of space left for them. But with the weave, they get this power position up line cut. And then this continuation, although very well done by the Hot Chili defender to get in the space as well. But that's what they want, and this is their comfort style. This is how the Disc Knights want to play. So I'm really glad that we're seeing their confidence go up and their ability to play the way that they want to in the latter stages here.
Amazing momentum there. Great pass from Lee to bring it down. And that would be his third assist, so to speak, in this game. He's been one of the main handlers, if not main handlers, for Disc Knights throughout this game.
Yeah, in fact, main handlers and also captain of the team. So certainly leading the charge here, Min Jun Lee putting in the yards.
And the question here is, Disc Knights, do they have enough armor as the Knights against Hot Chili? Zone defense being presented by Disc Knights. It's just too wide of a margin or too wide of a space given to Hot Chili, and that's making quick work right now, partner. At the edge of the end zone. Is this the final point for Hot Chili to get their first win?
Very saggy defense that allows space, but a mistake from Hot Chili, just peppering the disc away.
Execution error there, I think. I thought that was going to be game, because given how that was a good open pass, this Knight's defender was way out of that picture.
Agreed. I thought that was a pretty straightforward regulation pass.
And
Again, this leading pass on the away shot. Unfortunately, no continuation off that power position, but puts them in a really, really strong part of the ground.
Here's Chua. Gives it to Tahar. Tahar swings it all to the other side now to his teammate. Tahar's been doing a good job in the handler. And just like that, great pass and recognition, throwing it to the space to Yazid. Gives it to number 77. Farhan. Using some options now. Great composure. Just Tahar. Tahar gets it all the way, but just way out for his teammates' hands.
Just a slight overthrow there, and Osman patrolling that space, peeling off to help D, swats it down to the ground to ensure the turn.
Just a little bit margins of error, right? It's really small there, and just pass was just too forward for his teammate, Singaporean teammate, to get any chance. And here's number 15, Lau. All the way to the other side. This is Kelly. Kelly gives it back. Again, this night sticking with their zone defense and punches it through there, threads it between.
Again, the Disc Knights defense not quite up to task, really struggling to contain. They eventually get into a place to apply a little bit of pressure, but Chile making it look too easy.
Too easy, and they're right there. This could be game, and it is. Hot Chili secures their first win.
Chile will be pleased to stamp that one. They, as we said, had a disappointing loss yesterday after being up, and after Disc Knights had a comeback, 2 breaks in a row. Starting to feel a little bit shaky, but kudos to Hot Chili for having the composure, the mental capacity to stick with it, knowing that, hey, like, we've got this in the bag, and actually executing to finalize this game.
And just excellent. As you see that first pass where we thought it was game, just sailed right through. The pass was too high, and same here equally for this night, just too far. And Hot Chili able to secure a warm win. And just like that, this ends this pool play open division between Hot Chili and This Night, and we'll have a short break until the next game. My name is Jonathan, and together joined with Avril. Stay tuned for Day 2 of the Asia Oceanic Ultimate Championships live from Kamisu City. We'll be back.